Sean is the Managing Director of Empire Resources, and much like Ian, he too has more than 25 years of experience in the industry. And in this time, Sean has provided operational, consultancy, and managerial experience in Australia, North America, Africa, the Southeast and Central Asian mineral projects. So he's pretty much been all over the globe with his expertise. And he's also a graduate member of the Australian Institute of Company Directors, or GACID, and a fellow of the Australasian Institute of Mining and Metallurgy. As for the company itself, Empire Resources is a gold and copper focused explorer and developer with 3 100% owned, highly prospective projects in Western Australia. And certainly Sean will know a lot more about them than I will. So now is more the time than ever to turn this over to Sean and give the virtual floor to him. Sean, take us through exactly what's happening with Empire Resources.
So thanks, James. Thanks for the introduction. And it's great to be here again on Kalkine Media. I'd like to take you through the presentation that we have in front of us. Just a disclaimer there. First of all, I'd like to give you a bit of an introduction of Empire for those that don't know us. We're a exploration company, as James said, based in Western Australia. We've got some significant advanced exploration projects and our activities ongoing across all of those projects. Recently completed air core drilling at our Penny's Gold project in just out of Kalgoorlie in Western Australia. Result depending on that, so we're anticipating that imminently. And across our other projects, we'll be back up in the field at Nanity, which is a copper gold project just out of Meekatharra, plus ongoing field work at Barlawiri, another polymetallic project out of Kew in Western Australia. Our project ever growing, always looking for value accretive acquisitions and opportunistic pegging of tenements. We've got about 452 square kilometres of granted tenure in Western Australia, and we have about the same again in tenement applications. We've got 2 new projects, or new to us recently, the Nanity Copper project out of Meekatharra, plus a gold project just outside of Meekatharra as well that we'll be keen to get back on the ground of in the next few months. Financially quite strong, about $5.5 million at the end of the quarter. We've got really good shareholder support and 0 debt, and really just focusing now on delivering on our stated objective to get back into exploration and move our projects forward. Bit of a look at the capital, the dashboard there, about 1 billion shares on issue, trading at around 0.8%, giving us a market cap about 8.3 million. Okay, so Empire's not just an exploration company. We do like to have investments in other companies and other value accretive opportunities. Our key investment at this stage is the Penny's Gold Mine royalty. Empire mined the pit, as you see there on screen, in 2018. Sold the underground mine to Horizon now, owned by Horizon, and we retain a 5% royalty on that. So we're looking forward to Horizon's progress on that project. They've stated that they will continue to develop that project with more resource drilling. They've recently updated the market in that regard, and looking to get a development decision this quarter. So we look with great anticipation to see that project move forward, because that'll be an excellent source of cash flow into the business. Onto our projects, as you can see, tightly focused in and around the Midwest and the Kalgoorlie region of West Australia. Penny's Gold project is the project I mentioned earlier that we've just recently done some drilling just out of Kalgoorlie. And Nanity up the north of Meekatharra, where we'll be up to next, is a really interesting project base there. It's proximal to an existing resource held by Cyprium, and I'll be going through that project with you in some detail. Mary, which is a really strong copper gold polymetallic project that we've recently done a lot of work on to develop. Really like the ground package there. And finally, we'll briefly touch on Barlawiri, which is a polymetallic project just out of Kew. It's really quite an interesting ground package there as well. So really interested in getting back on the ground there as well. So just to talk a bit about the Penny's Gold project. You'll see there that the excise ground is the Penny's mine. We retained all the exploration ground around it. Not a lot of work has gone into that package around Penny's mine over the last few years. Since we have reinvigorated our exploration, we have really poured the RC and air core drilling into the north up there, and we've recently gone back in with that air core program to tease out some more targets that haven't been drill tested adequately. So one of the more recent finds that we had around Pennies is Pfo9 Prospect, discovered in 2019 with some air core drilling. It's a strong supergene target with definitely some primary mineralisation there, where we've got 1 metre at 7.2 grams. Strong arsenopyrite signature that you see all through the goldfields. The Pfo4 Prospect, which is a bit further south, again, you can see that there's been some significant work on that. That's been well known and well targeted in the past, but we're taking a bit of a view on this that may have not been interpreted as you see it there. So we've recently included in that air core program, turn the rig around and have a real good look at it in another direction, along strike as well, which hasn't had a lot of work as well. So keen to see those results come back. We're expecting good things from that prospect. So moving to the copper prospects that we have, and as Ian mentioned, copper is fundamental to the energy transition that we're going through at the moment. So we see that having a strong portfolio that contains copper assets is prudent and will be warranted going forward. Our Nanity prospects that we acquired a couple of years ago have been really underexplored along that Barimbi shear there that we see on the right, and it's only just north of Nanity Well, which is a 36 million tonne copper gold project that is owned by Cyprian. The prospects that you see there have we've done some soil sampling late last year on those prospects and thrown up some really interesting targeting there. We've just zooming on a couple of those targets, and bear in mind this is widespread soil sampling, so it does require some more work, but there is a strong correlation between the chromium and the base metal nickel and copper. So really keen to get back up there late this year and fill in some of those soils, start looking at doing some air core drilling on those prospects. It's an exciting area and one that will only get better with more exploration work. Moving to our Ewan Mary project, which again is in the Midwest area. It's a historic area that's had a fair bit of work on it in the past. Empire's had it for quite some time. There's a JORC resource there, 2.5 million tonne, 1.3% copper, about 0.5 gram gold, existing resource. When we reinvigorated our exploration programs a few years ago, we really targeted to try and find similar or likewise prospects to Just Desert. We've spent a fair bit of time on targeting and getting in there with the air core rig, and more recently we've had some success to develop some of those prospects up. In particular, I'll draw your attention to YTO1, which is down the bottom, which is a large target sitting on the synclinal fold there of along strike of Just Desert, which is the 2.5 million tonne JORC resource that we talked about earlier. And Smith's Well, which is a really high tenor sulfide prospect that's really got a lot of smoke to it and warrants some further work. And the third prospect that we're really developing is the A zone, which is again along strike from that Just Desert. So there's a lot of smoke in the area. There's a lot of mineralisation. It's a bit sport for choice in some aspects to try and target, but we've picked out those three as our key targets. And with the Smith's Well being quite a strong sulfide pyrrhotite target, it is a really strong conductor. So we've been spending a fair bit of time and effort testing that conductor with downhole EM surveys and diamond drilling. The results of that are that it's a very, very thick strongly mineralised sulphide pile, and strongly puritic, but certainly some chalco and pyrite in there as well. It's a steeply plunging structure that it, as you can see from that photo from the bottom left on that slide there, it's a very, very strong, massive sulphide deposit, and with some really interesting mineralogy there, and really good thicknesses to that. So we'll be continuing to work on that and develop that up further. The other key prospect that we talked about earlier is YTO1, which was identified and discovered in 2019. Again, with some air core drilling, just shows the power of air core drilling through the regolith. And through 2020 and 2021, we hit it pretty hard with some RC drilling, along with many of our other targets, and developed a very strong profile going down. On the screen there, you can see that section demonstrates that there's quite a bit of mineralisation there. We haven't tested this along strike, that's east and west at all, other than the air core, which does pick up some mineralisation there. So it's quite deep, it's quite thick. We would like to be getting in there again and testing those strike extents, and that'll be planned for early next year, early 2023 calendar year. And really looking forward to see what we can uncover from that very exciting prospect at Mary. The A zone has been heavily drilled, and it suffered from a little bit of I guess they overlooked going up the strike of it, and so we've been putting some drilling up dip, pretty rare to be able to bring things up to surface. And delivering some really good numbers as well. So, you know, we've got some really good numbers, really strong 1%ers up further, and further down strike and down dip, you're seeing some really strong numbers of 2s and 5s and so on, things like that. So really keen to continue to explore that target as well, and really develop that package in and around Mary. We really need to build on the existing 2.5 million tonne resource that just deserts, and A zone certainly fits into that profile. The final project I want to just talk about briefly is Barlawiri. It's a discrete tenement in the Barlawiri syncline area. It's got some historic drilling and some really good strong geophysical targets. It hasn't had any real exploration since the 80s, and we see that as a significant opportunity. The limited drilling that had been done in the 1980s, 87, really showed a very strong mineralised signature to that. Polymetallic, zinc, copper, gold, silver, just about everything in the bag there. So it really does need to have some more work on that. The key target to Barlawiri is the B1 target there, just down from the syncline, and that has some really strong features to it geophysically, and also the drilling that's gone into it in the past has identified sulfides. It's open along strike. It's got all the tenors, all the indicators of having having something of significance to explore for there. And our limited work to date has really confirmed that those targets exist, that drilling exists, and it warrants some further drilling. So we'll be back in the field early next year to try and uncover the mysteries of Barlawiri, and looking forward to that. So in summary, Empire Resources has an excellent package of exploration projects. We're multi-commodity. We like gold because it's an excellent commodity to be in, but likewise, we really do believe in the energy transformation and the thematic that comes with that, and therefore we've built our portfolio strongly around those commodities that will be in demand in that transition, in particular copper and nickel. Really, very much a spread of commodity types and also exploration development, greenfield through to JORC. So anything from brand new discoveries through to project development. We're continuously active in the field, so we have a strong news flow. Strong financial position, as I said earlier, 1.5 in the bank at the end of last quarter. So looking forward to putting that to good use. And we've demonstrated that we're efficient and we're effective in the field. We're prudent in our approach, and we continue to develop our projects. And finally, our team's very strong. We have a strong history of corporate success in the market, and also very strong technical skills in around project development and exploration. So, putting all that to good use over the next 6 to 18 months will be an exciting time for Empire, and we welcome anyone to get on board and get hold of us and have a chat. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, mate. Great presentation, and I'm sure you get plenty of interest from our attendees today and other people moving forward in the future to indeed hop on board. So really looking forward to seeing exactly where you can take it over the next 12 months or so. And I suppose for you personally, obviously being the managing director, is there a specific focus you would like to see or a specific goal achieved from your company?
Oh, look, James, I think we always want to see success in any of these businesses, and that's 100% why we do. We get involved. I'm not hung up on which direction or where we take success from. It's really about trying to identify those opportunities and take advantage of those opportunities to the benefit of all shareholders. And look, a really good example of that is when we took our position a few years ago in NTM. Empire itself made quite a bit of money out of that. We identified that there was an opportunity there to leverage one of our peers, their good work and their success, and that proved fruitful. We made a 200% profit on that investment. So, look, when it comes to our ethos and what we want to do, it's all about trying to identify value and exploit that value and move forward and do it in a prudent, sensible approach.
Look, I think you've done exactly that so far. So let's hope that the wheels keep on turning and there's good things on the horizon for Empire. Thank you so much, Sean.